How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Two Left Thumbs. This is the launch day for Repella Fella. Brand new game, been in the works for over 6 years from a solo developer, Phil JC, probably most well known for making the Flash game series Ray back 20 years ago. So he made Ray when he was 17, and then twice that later, 34, he started making Repella Fella, right around then at least, so half his life later. And this is the end result. It's been a long time coming. Today has been weeks, months, years, but mostly especially weeks of build-up, and it's very exciting. And so, you know, it's been a busy morning of trying to post everywhere we can, get the word out, announcements left and right, everything. And yeah, now it's time to just kind of sit back and enjoy the fact that this game is out there. You can buy it now today. There's links in the description, but also on the Misadventurous website, you can also just go repellafella.com. In the blog post there is a link to a free version of the game. We decided that we wanted to have that option. People are going to pirate the game no matter what. You can't stop that. You can't control it. And so we might as well make a safe version of this available to people. So if you can wishlist the game, if you can buy it, support us directly that way, that's amazing. Please do. We appreciate it, like, more than we could probably ever say. But we also know you gotta save where you can. Games aren't always the highest priority. If you just want to play the game and experience it, then go play the pirate version of it guilt-free. And I hope you have an absolute blast with that. This has a single DLC, but it's a gag DLC. It is $1, and it gives you access to one goofy little thing in the game. It's like not hidden that it's a joke DLC, so don't like worry that you'll accidentally like buy the wrong thing or whatever. It's one DLC, and it's a joke. Can't get it wrong. Dan, glad to hear you've been enjoying the game. That's awesome. For myself and for anyone else who maybe decides they want to play this for themselves on a stream, turn on the streamer mode. It swaps out a couple music tracks for copyright reasons and censors a bit of brief nudity in the game. Yeah, I'm glad people are excited and trying to promote the fact that buying the game is a good thing. I'll never say no to that, but we wanted to make sure people had the option. So I'm going to check a couple real quick stream settings. It should all be good. I probably should have checked some of these before going live, but no, I'm happy with all that. That's fine. We'll call it good. So, as we're playing through this together, and I do mean together, there are going to be points in the game where different options appear on screen. There will be like 3 to 4 of them, and I want you guys to help contribute to those choices. I want you to chime in the chat and let me know which of the choices is most appealing to you. I'm going to just kind of gauge popular vote looking at the chat, and those are the choices we're going to make together. I've played through the game. I don't want to be in charge. And let me know if the audio levels are good with the game versus me.
But what is the end of the world anyway? Is it the end of life as we know it? Is it the end of life itself? Can the world truly end if there's someone left to tell the tale? Now, where shall I begin? How about with a fella I once knew? I think his name was... his name...
The fella!
Anyway, his story begins back in... well, at this point, let's just say it was a while ago.
Juicing up the game audio.
After a long, hard day of work.
Hopefully that's a little bit better. I tried to respond to it as quickly as people were chiming in with things. It's fine. It's the first like 2 seconds of the game, just a very simple introduction.
So decided to stretch his legs and walk around a bit.
Now will actually be a good chance to check on things. You can click and interact with like everything in this game.
Like someone had a bit too much to drink.
So hopefully that'll help. I can always adjust further.
I need to use the window that it mentions. I don't need to go in there. Oh, I wish I could sleep that well. It's a thong. I think Americans call them flip-flops.
Americans and Canadians, flip-flops. I'm glad that a simple word like that registers in other countries and has an enjoyable factor to it, because for me, I love Aussie phrases so much. I don't know, Billabong, Rock Melon, and they got 1,000. They're all good. Blazerama, thank you very much for the tip. I don't know if I had that turned on or what I was expecting with that or whatever, but it's appreciated. Will it be verified on the Steam Deck? There's more steps in that than you would think. I wish that you could just go straight to Steam and be like, hey, we've tested it. We think it's ready to go. Can you please give it Steam Deck verification? You kind of have to wait for them to come to you. And so we are like 90 plus 99% certain that this game functions fully, completely on Steam Deck. And because of the point and click style of things, it actually works very, very well because you can just click around on the touchscreen. It's a super smooth experience. The verification is pending. Hopefully that'll be coming down the line. But yeah, that's available.
Sources.
Be with you shortly. Just let me get this in the oven.
Yeah, not a bad deal.
It'll take me a minute to find the rhythm of answering people's questions and letting the game play.
Just give me the special.
Too easy. $7. Cheers. Hey, while you're waiting, can you do us a favour and grab my car keys? I dropped them in the drain over there on my way in tonight. Fucking sausage fingers over here.
Sausage fingers. I think I'd be pissed if I went to order some food and the guy was like, can you fish my keys out of the drain? What a dick. I'm being told to click around on the butterflies. Game's still quite quiet. I can turn the game up more too. I want to make sure things are like in decent balance. I cannot click on the butterflies. I was asked to try that out. You can click on the rock though.
Scissors, 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 scissors. It's a rock.
Okay, most things have two interaction
Royal
dialogues.
Hotel Garden Bar. The Royal Hotel.
Okay, but most of them are like simplified like that. It does select them randomly. So he wishes it was chicken schnitzel day. It is a Monday today, so this is kind of funny, but it's not in the game apparently. Yeah, it must select the dialogues randomly rather than alternating between them.
It's a small vent.
But
it's a stool.
Even though there's like not really anything to say about them, you can click on a different rock for another thing.
Toilets that way.
Dunnies, that's another good Australian phrase. But yeah, the game encourages you
I can't cook for shit.
to want to click around on things. Spam clicking on things is gonna be fun. Yeah.
No thanks. I hope I never have to get on a plane again.
I actually have no idea if that's a real airline company or not. There's so many goddamn bad airlines out there.
With everything else crawling around here, these are pretty harmless.
We have so many magpies where I'm from as well. I actually don't know if they're the same species or not. Anyways, I'll go back to doing the things I'm supposed to be doing, like fishing the keys out of this vent.
I can't reach them.
Thankfully, he remembered there were some lockpicks back near the gate where he first entered.
Ooh, Bullet is planning to download the game and test it out on the deck. If you encounter any issues at all, please do pop into like the Steam discussions and post a bug report or what have you, and we'll try to get that fixed up as soon as possible. We did play test it, but not as much as the PC version.
I might be able to use these on that drain over there.
Ansett is a reference to Ansett Australia, spelt slightly differently, a defunct Australian airline, which makes sense. I believe this is 1968, so it would make sense if it's referencing something that is no longer even in existence.
Right, now picking locks is actually pretty easy. There's just a pattern you need to figure out. So think of each golden pin as a step, and the steps need to be touched in the right order. So you got 1, 2,
You need a key to
3,
get the key.
and then 4. Now if I touch them in
Not
that
how I
order,
thought of
the
it, but
code
yeah,
is
kinda.
But if I touch them out of order, the fucking thing breaks a lockpick.
I don't know if I've ever encountered a tutorial in the game where they're like, I don't fucking know, you do the best you can and the fucking thing breaks when you try. It's just kind of like, it's very classically Australian to me. It's just phenomenal. Classic.
Got it. Yoink.
So whenever you have a new item, you can check it in your inventory, and it just gives you a brief little description where you got it, a reminder for the image, and just like a little bit of details about them. And there is also the hint seeker, which I'm going to attempt to not make use of. It's actually been a minute since I've played through the game, and depending what choices we end up making, we could end up in parts of the game I haven't seen. But I'm going to avoid using the hint seeker. But basically, it's just going to show you, here are things you can click around on if you want to check it out, and here's something that's like specifically going to be relevant towards the story and progressing the game. So it's designed in a way that if you're ever stuck, you should be able to consult your journal or the hint seeker. I don't have the journal currently. And once you have those two things, then like you should be able to make your way through the game without ever consulting a walkthrough outside of the game, while still having a bit of challenge that you'll need to think through.
Hey, can you spare some change?
Oh, you're right. The key fob does look pretty big. It would be pretty unlikely for it to have fallen directly into the grate. Everyone should refund the game. Don't buy it anymore. It's trash. Play the pirate version only. Realism, immersion, broken. Here is the first of our votes. I'm going to encourage you to vote in like one-word things, and please don't vote more than once. Change, beer, or sleep. You know, something simple like that. So you can just chime in the comments with one of those. I thought about organizing like a voters poll to be able to have people like be able to vote in a straw poll or something like that. But going out of the game to set that up every single time seemed like a mess. So I figured we could just jump in on this together. Gotten a couple votes for just give him some beer. One vote for the change and one vote for the sleep. Mostly people are voting beer. We're gonna give him a beer. We're gonna be nice to the old vet.
You don't want change, mate. You want one of these. Come on.
Dominico, is there two of you watching together? 2 votes for beer? If I start counting votes that way, though, people are going to be like, well, I have 8 people over here watching the stream together, and we all vote for blank or whatever, so...
Anything?
So that's effectively it for the tutorial. Like, this is kind of still part of it, but, like, the game basically just starts going now.
How's that?
I told you, there's too much ground above us.
Oh, no, Dominico meant, like, number 2, voting number 2. Absolutely, that's a good way to do it. Numbers is a much... That'll probably work just fine.
Get away. Not after what he's done.
Give it to the rats. They live for this shit.
By the time they get here, you'll be bloody miles away. Just stay here. I'll go.
You've lost your bloody marbles.
Can't say I would have disagreed with it.
Yeah, I had to play on a different account because as a publisher, you get auto-granted the game. So I already had the game on that account, and that's where I did all the play testing and everything. And so now I loaded it up on a different account so that I could start over from scratch, no achievements, no anything, and so I can just go from here.
It's just a lie. He was the only one who kept up with me. I shouldn't talk any more than I need to.
Uncharted 5. This would be the Vietnamese War, I believe. I think that would make the most sense.
The rifle. I don't need it. No idea what this says.
I'm trying to think of how old the character's supposed to be in 68. I think he's like 30 or something like that.
We caught this one off guard.
We'll have another voting point here, actually. 3, maybe 4. We'll do the number system. So 1, 2, 3, top to bottom. Stab him quietly. 1, 2, shoot him with your pistol. 3, booby trap his bed with a grenade. I feel like with the delay, there's always going to be like a little bit of a lag from presenting the newest choice versus people being able to vote on it. I wish I could ensure that the latency were a little lower. I could look at some stream settings and see if I can... I think it's too late. I think I have things set to like a kind of a normal latency. Lots of votes for 3. Actually, yeah, I have like 1 for 2, and everyone else said 3. So booby trapping with the grenade, it is. Everyone wants the explosive finish to this. They talk about tunnel rats and the Vietnamese writing on the paper, which this is translatable.
I don't know.
Which I actually don't remember what it is at all. Oh, no. What did I just... Oh, okay, that might have just been the area being shelled. I thought I missed the grenade blowing up. I want to try and use Google Lens, because I know you can translate this, and I don't remember at all what it says. Watch out for twigs, ropes, and holes. We just got... we lost Chien due to his lack of ability. Be wary. So that might not be, like, 100% accurate. I believe, like... Phil worked with someone to translate that accurately, but Google's translation might be like iffy, but that's pretty good. The rats may be referencing the rats of Tobruk, but I'm not sure about that. They were an Australian force in North Africa during World War II. Wow, that's a cool bit of history. I believe it just means rats. They're like literal rats running around, but that's pretty cool if that's meant to be like a double layered reference. There's a booby trap on the ground here that I'm aware of to miss out on, work around.
Oh, is it her? Hey, get on, get.
The streamer mode doesn't do anything for the violence. The violence stays exactly where it was.
Explosive shells, mines. They use anti-personnel and vehicle mines. A stove of some sort? Vents. Must be where the fumes go. Just another ladder.
So, there's totally a little line on the ground here, but I'm going to walk into it just for the sake of showing an achievement for getting killed by that.
Actually, that's not right. Here's what he really did.
And so there's kind of this narrative device in place that when things go wrong like that, he's, oh no, sorry, that's not a story. I'm misremembering, and I kind of like that as a really simple little way of resetting things.
Bastards. Guess this is how they hide the bodies down here. It's a shovel. They must go through loads of them.
I think that's like accurate. As tunnels were being built, people were dying from the war, from the tunnel building, the poor conditions, and they just started adding them to the walls and stuff. It's like very dark, very messed up. Obviously, lots of PTSD for anyone who came out the other side of this.
Out like dog's balls.
Fuck knows what that was hooked up to.
Dog's balls, eh? That's a good... I don't know if that's an Aussie phrase or if that's just a this guy phrase, but I can tell you we don't say that here. Sticks out like dog's balls. And now we got 3, bust in and shoot him. 2, go crazy with your knife. Or 3, toss a grenade inside. We do still have a grenade left over. Where are all the skellies? Well, out of sight. But all around you, I think, is probably the answer to that one. Chat's just laughing at the fact that... And then he died! Oh, no, just kidding. Not actually. Split between 1 and 3. But 3 is definitely getting the higher amount of votes here. So we're going with tossing a grenade in. Going explosive crazy on this one.
2, 3, 4...
There's ammo? I mean, the number of them you're carrying is the ammo, yes.
Christ, again.
So, it's just a quick flashback. We're establishing that he's a war vet and that he has probably some issues from his time there.
But fate came calling.
Yeah.
Is this, Repella Fella?
That's me.
Yeah, good. Listen, mate, there's a wild pig on the loose. It's run into my shop and it's kicking shit up all over the place. Can you come out and give us a hand?
I don't know. It's pretty late.
Late? What's late got to do with it? Listen, mate, if I go in there, it'll take me bloody head off.
Just, leave the door open. It'll run out eventually.
Oh, yeah, and then what if it comes back? You're an exterminator, aren't you? What's the matter with you?
You know, there's a call-out fee.
Listen, mate, just get your ass out of here, okay? Butterworths. You know where that is?
Yeah, I know. See you soon.
Can tell Bullet's playing the game at the same time. It's funny commenting that like a millisecond before the character said it.
Пока продолжаем полет на малой высоте.
Так точно. Я не могу поверить, как далеко нам удалось продвинуться. Никто и не поверит, не отвлекайся. Как мы будем с этим жить? Не дергайся, мы же говорили об этом. Иди назад, я справлюсь тут сам.
The game has actually gotten a fair amount of credit, compliments for how it handled the Russian dialogue. Phil was very careful about hiring voice actors who actually spoke Russian and were able to assist with accurately translating and like delivering it authentically. Didn't want any like janky accents of someone just doing their best Russian. Like, nah, we're not doing that.
There he was, off his chops, annoyed and behind the wheel.
I love his little dangly guy in his rear view mirror there, the little insect.
Just under 2 hours ago at the RAF base, Williamstown, 3 servicemen were
Hello?
killed with a further 7
Hello? I'm here for the pig.
craft were 3.
Chad's talking about how this has like a high quality of animation and could work as like Adult Swim or something. It's actually insane. Phil hand animated this entire game by himself. Drew and animated it. That's why this game took 6 years to come out. One person did this.
Нас сейчас собьют, одна уже готова.
Открываем бомболюк. Сейчас задует.
Did Fleeing the Complex have some rough Russian translations? I wouldn't be surprised. And I know a few of them Puff did intentionally, where he's just saying silly nonsense that he threw into Google Translate and then like dictated it back. So that's like, yeah, didn't quite go that route. Not so goofy, a little bit more realistic. So, push him through the bay doors, shoot everyone on board, or follow orders. I'm glad to see people are getting into the swing of starting to just like weigh in on these as soon as they come up rather than waiting for me to present it. That's fantastic. If I'm talking about whatever and you see it and it comes up and you want to start throwing down votes, 3 for 1, 4 for 2. Right on a line here. Ooh, no, 2 is winning over. Yeah, I think we're going to 2, shooting everyone on board. Kind of psycho behavior, but hey, that's what we're doing.
Ты чего делал?
1 vote for 3. Came in a little late. So Phil actually explained to me the amount of work and research he put into this sequence specifically.
His fucking guts are hanging out.
I'm
How
trying to...
far
Oh,
away
this is
are
kind of
you?
bothering me. It's like off where I want it to be. That's probably better.
What's that siren for?
There's like a way that bombs are armed. Bombs, specifically nukes, I'm not sure. He did the research, not me.
Yeah, where's that?
That there's like a 2-stage arming process, and so we have just interrupted it from having it be fully armed, so it's going to be still a massive explosion, but not as crazy as it would have been. It would be funny if the end game had a score system like Ray. You're going to be very pleased with the end of this game then. I don't think that's a spoiler. It's absolutely a part of it. Weighing in all the different choices, how violent you were, whether or not you were a dickhead to people, different opportunities you seized and how you react to situations. It all gets put in like a report at the end of the game, and it gives you a final like single letter A through F or whatever it is, A through L or something rank, as well as a bunch of other like post-credit stuff that wraps up loose ends. The end game here is like pretty exciting. There's quite a lot to it.
It's too dark.
Oh, definitely light first then.
Maybe this is broken. The pigs made a mess of the place. Maybe I should follow this procedure.
Activate terminal, release valve lock, operate valve, load passenger.
Looks useful.
Got ourselves a nice spatula.
Sounds like this room's important.
kind of like the honor system in Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm not sure if it's quite as deep running and advanced as that, but it does filter in your decision making into like the end part of the game for sure. Brother, the door has been left open and unlocked for the second time this month. This is not a storeroom. Stop leaving random shit in here. Do you need another reminder as to why this is so important? If it happens again, I'm going to take your key away and you'll find the next note pinned to your head. The door should remain locked at all times. The frozen fire. My bet is that wasn't the pig that killed the guy. Interesting theory. Insert mini tape to continue.
Needs a tape. I can't move it.
Can't be done. Leave him alone. Well, this one, for a branch like that, the branch is non-existent. It's not a thing. Leave him alone just disengages the interaction. So this one, I'm just going to automatically do it, even though it's presented in the way that would feel like it's time for a vote.
I'll take that.
We have the computer tape.
Could be down this hole.
Insert the tape. People are voting on number 2 and our choice to leave him alone or prod the guy. Yes. There's a vote to be had there, but it's not a real one.
I wonder what's down. Oh, shit.
So, it was a pig. It's a boar, so it's a little bit more deadly than just a standard, like, you know, babe pig in the city pot belly. Okay, I will go and grab this board to make sure we have all of those options available. Majority of the time that there are things in this game that require you to be holding a specific item, they are not going to be immediately nearby like that. It's something you will have had to have found an hour ago in a different area, and then it'll unlock an additional option for you. I don't know where 100% of those are. I'm going to do my best to keep an eye open and try and gather things up as best as I can, but that's just kind of... yeah, we may be limited here and there. In a situation like this, for clarity, we'll try something else as 1, even though it's not a real option. Quite a few votes on 2, a couple for 3, a couple for 4. Oh, 4 is getting a decent number of votes. Well, right at the end there, things tipped over towards 4.
Absolutely pointless.
Like the boar's little eyebrows and his just like expressiveness. I'm being asked to save the pig. I would say, unfortunately, that is not really on our list here. People are smacking it with the board was the next most popular choice, I would say. It's a little more violent, a little aggressive.
Pissing it off even more.
Got a thick skull there, Pumbaa. And the final option here, unfortunately. He was hired specifically to get rid of this pig. That's kind of the job.
Nothing I've tried works. Time to look elsewhere.
Is the game audio better? I haven't really like played around with that in a little while, and hopefully no one's been chiming in on it, so I hope that also means that people are like happy with that currently. Boar's just chilling, doing his thing. So our final option here is to use the valve. Do 4 with style.
The pig was dead.
Yeah, if I could style on him with the spatula, I would. But there's only one end result of that.
Hello?
Who is that? Where's Barry?
He's, what's happening out there?
Audio's good.
You are, but you better not get into that bloody capsule.
Hello? Hello?
People are not happy about the dead pig.
Threat detected. Lockdown procedure initialized.
Threat?
For your safety, please board the capsule immediately.
The boar is coked up.
Get out of here.
Maybe. I don't know what this guy has stored in this room back here.
I've got to go.
Isn't it time to piss about? So, many times in this game, there will be branching decision points where what you do affects the game and removes a character or opens a branch of things to explore. Most of the choices come back together. I'm trying to get my hands in. So you branch, then you reconvene, then it branches, then it comes back. And so most of the time you're on like this linear cocaine bore. Yeah, of course. You're on these different paths through things, but there is like a central story that you always end up back on. And many times you will affect the story, but now and again there's things like that where the 3 out of 4 options are just gags and silly, like Henry Stickmin-esque, like, do it again sort of thing. Same as way back in Ray. But yeah, now and again, there's only one solution, like with the cocaine board. So, Waltzing Matilda is a traditional Australian folk song, and this, like, punk cover of it is by Lower Coast Skies, which is actually, I believe, the brother-in-law of Phil, the developer of this game. So that was kind of cool. He just, like, hired out his direct family to put together this dope punk version of this classic song. Which Telltale game is this? I'll remember that. No, it does have similarities for sure. Oh yeah, this is not usual Australia. This is that was just the starting point here. We beat it, the credits are rolling. I don't know if this is on Spotify. I'm actually not certain, and I'm not certain if they're able to for various odd reasons. Hopefully they can. Oh, Bullet, are you not allowed to, are you not able to use the trackpad instead of the joystick? I thought you'd be able to interchange the two.
Sweet home.
If we're able to like remap that to make sure both are supported options for people, we definitely will.
Activated. Welcome to the GARN emergency shelter system. We are sorry to hear about the undefined event. As per transaction 1909,
Undefined, whatever the heck happened.
We have provided provisions for your mandatory stay of 15 years. Thank you. We hope you enjoy your stay in the revolutionary GARN emergency shelter system.
Yeah, let's just head off to New Zealand. Have a nice vacation over there.
7 times faster.
Everything's
to be
probably
exact.
fine.
He's still aged, but his passage through time was considerably swift.
I love fish out of water comedies. Futurama is probably one of my favorite series of all time. So the idea of taking this like blue collar Aussie exterminator, just like bloke, just man of the people, and putting him in a scenario where it cascades him, rockets him forward into the future. I just love that. I always love that in games.
That's my rifle.
I love that in media, basically. Use each day the productive way. Eat, study, train, dose, and eat. Sleep, and repeat.
Books. Yeasty Bite. Survival manuals. I've actually read some of these before.
Oh, it looks like there was something to grab. Oh no, it's just the mouse
Survival
changing.
manuals.
So Garn, I don't know if I'll read this whole thing actually. Oh, you were able to adjust the controls yourself. That's good. That's good news. Hopefully that would also be a nice like quality of life feature that we can switch the default or something like that. You can change it on the fly with the Dex controller settings. Oh, that's fantastic. Good stuff. So, dear Mr. Holt, in accordance with their agreement, your emergency shelter system, too many S sounds, has been stocked with all requested items and mandatory materials. In the event that the shelter is unused for a period lasting longer than 15 years, your requested items will be restocked free of charge. To ensure life support systems remain intact and functional, we request that you only use the shelter system in times of emergency. It is not designed to be initialized repeatedly, and faults may occur. Then it kind of just talks about the different things that are going on in this and maintaining the system and all of that. finding all the Easter eggs in Repella Fella when? I actually don't know. I don't know how to handle that because it feels kind of unfair since I have like more direct access to the developer and hints and things like that. I'm debating it. I might end up doing it, but only if no one else gets around to it in the first few weeks here, you know? I want to give other people the chance to immerse themselves into this game the way I did, like things like Henry Stickmin.
Is this thing on? Oh, too many buttons. Oh, I think that's it. How's it going, old friend? Listen, mate, I figured it'd be best if I didn't put this in writing. Everything should be good to go, and I just wanted to let you know that they managed to slot the semi-stasis...
Dick smells electronics, hey?
But I've been led to believe that time will function differently in this little capsule compared to the outside world. That is to say, if it works. For all I know, it'll turn you into a fucking hot dog. Anyhow, I've got my own nest to get sorted. Won't be as fancy as this, but it'll do the job. Scary days ahead. See ya, mate.
No. If you wait in the boar room, I don't believe there is a secret ending for just letting yourself get bombed. I don't think there are ever things in this game that result from letting something time out. I could be wrong, but I don't recall there being anything like that. Looking forward to my next playthrough, because we're already noticing how many things you missed. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
Helpful.
The game is meant to be replayed. We want you to play it 2-3 times even in order to really explore everything it has to offer. Rim jams. They look like little s'mores. And third drawer. Soap and I think like a nudie magazine.
It's a bed. A drain. It's marked emergency exit.
Yeah, I don't think you really want to emergency exit yourself in a scenario like this.
Something for the computer, the toilet for this place.
Alright guys, here's the big choice. Here's one of the bigger choices in the game. There are, I would say, 2 that affect the game more than any other. And then there are a bunch of other minor affectings. As per our agreement, your mandatory stay of 15 years requires you to undertake experimental training. Please select a module below. Internalizer. Develop better reasoning skills by consulting with the little voices inside your head. And Brick Shithouse. You may not be the brightest bulb in the room, but at least you can lift heavy things. We got people voting for 3. There is no 3, guys. What are you looking at? Yeah, just the 2 on this one. Internalizer, that's the one. Brick Shithouse, definitely. Intelligence or strength? the vote for 3 has been retracted. Please only vote once. Zoe, I'm gonna put you on a timeout for spam in the chat there. It just kind of clogs things up and makes it difficult to actually count off people's votes. So just vote once. Be honest here. Majority of people are voting 1. I got a couple votes for 2. I actually did expect 2 to be the more popular one, but we're getting kind of iffy, maybe around the 50-50 mark here. 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, 1 is winning out just barely, and that's factoring in the 1 person extra voting. We are gonna go Internalizer. I kind of, from what I've been seeing, I think most streamers and things do end up going with Brick Shithouse. So I do kind of like that this little playthrough working through together will be making use of the alternate option. So we got some time to kill here. Flushing ourselves down the toilet, it's a decent third option. Maybe the third option are the friends we made along the way. Yes, absolutely. Charisma build solos. He's not the most charismatic character. He's got a little bit going in that regard.
I don't know what most of this is.
So the AI package, concept soundabout, meal upgrade experimental package 1 and 2. Thank you for your business. So just giving kind of a report of everything that there was as a part of this entire like nest system.
It's a strange-looking clock.
It's the year 1968. Crack the glass and drink the water. Yeah, it's an infinite supply. Just put a tiny little pinhole in there and you'll always have a little gerbil access point to slurp and suckle your way through. So, this isn't an actual branching point. This is just dialogue. This is just talking to this machine here. So,
who am I talking to here?
Hello, I am a GARN AI. My primary function is to help visitors with my state-of-the-art introspection module, meaning beyond what I've already told you, I can only answer a question with a question.
It must stink in there. There's no shower. It's just off camera. It's immediately on the other side of the bunker. I don't know, actually. It's a good point. You'd be rank. You'd be so rank after not a very long amount of time.
How do I get out of this place? What was all that shit about waiting 15 years?
Where would you go? Would it be preferable to wait 15 years where you came from?
The advent of complex interactable AI, 1968.
Just out of curiosity, what would happen if I smashed this box into 1,000 little pieces?
Why would you risk damaging my systems? Can you live without a supply of oxygen? Would you like to live in darkness for 15 years?
Could try it. It's my life. I can do what I want. You don't have to tell me what to do, Garn.
What am I supposed to do down here?
Do you enjoy reading and sleeping?
Can we stay down here for the rest of the game? Just have a sick little hang down in the bunker?
Is that the question?
Shaka bra.
What am I supposed to eat?
What choice do you have?
Bully beef and vegetables. Yum yum. Long lasting too. That's you definitely want that. You want food that's built to never expire. That's how you know it's quality.
What's this place for? Who created it?
Is it not a better question to ask where the creator is now in light of recent events?
Do it. Live in darkness. Everyone wants to beat up Garn real badly.
Do you have any idea what's happening up there?
How can I be sure? Am I not down here?
The useless loop of answering questions with questions.
Is there any way I can contact the outside world?
Can you be sure there is an outside world?
That seems like a weird, heady, philosophical question where you're just kind of like, all right, well, shut up, Garn. How would I know? But at the same time, it did kind of get blown to absolute shit, so you really don't know.
What's in that container on the wall?
Why don't we wait 15 years and see?
When I landed in here, I heard barrier activated. What kind of barrier did you mean?
What type of barrier would put you most at ease?
Ah, you're a pain in the ass.
I love Garn, but I hate him. I hate this stupid, useless machine who gives us life. Well, I guess we grab ourselves some tasty food. Can't actually grab it. Well, I will settle in for the night.
It was at this point that he felt comfortable with his new lodgings.
It was 7 years faster, 7 times faster down here. So each year spent down here is 7 years up above. Just for the reminder on that. Let's do a 15-year stream. Yeah, you're right. The power of the subconscious mind, building a strong mind. And not necessarily working on your mind with that one.
Who said that? You did. What? We're the voices inside your head, you big idiot. What do you think you've been learning about all this time? Voices? In my head? I've gone crazy, haven't I? Far from it, my friend. You've just learned to be a bit more in touch with your inner self. In touch with your inner self? That's the puffy way of saying it. What he means is, if you ever need help, you can count on us. We're with you from now until the very end.
I love that the devil's just like drinking a beer.
Is he deaf or just stupid? Oh, shush you. I said we should have waited until he was in bed and not having a wank. Oh, never mind him. He has no manners whatsoever. If you're in my head, how do I make you go away? Now who's got no manners? Well, we'll leave you to it. See you soon. Don't go blind, mate.
What is that one? Mind Mastery? Lots of books to be read.
Life-preserving systems have been depleted. Please prepare to leave the capsule at once.
15 years, you would go
Warning.
pretty
The
insane.
capsule will begin flooding in 60 seconds. Please vacate immediately.
Insane, but also this is what we chose, the internalizer. 105 years later, 2073.
15 years later, or 105 years in the real world, this is where the real story begins.
It's where the story begins and where the fun begins.
Someone's over there. Oi, over here!
Эй, ты! Руки вверх и на выход!
Whoa, there's no need for that. Put it down.
Ни слова больше. На выход.
I don't think she understands me.
Here's an actual choice. 1, 2, and 3. She's nervous, try to calm her down. Shoot her with your pistol. Shoot her with your rifle. How are we gonna go about this? Pretty significant. What are you crazies gonna recommend? He's the one who's hallucinating and seeing inner vestiges of himself. You're the ones who keep trying to blow things up with grenades. Everyone here trying to act like he is going crazy. Which I should point out, the main character as well as the angel and devil are all voiced by Phil, the main developer of the game. Kind of a weird even distribution of everything. 3 votes for 1, 3 votes for 3. Oh, and slightly more for 2. Slightly more for 2. Shoot her with your pistol. I don't know if you really need to worry about ammo counts. That would be an interesting thing, but I don't think it ever factors in. That would be interesting. Maybe in the sequel.
What a bloody mess. Where the hell am I?
Stop. Wait.
Huh. So you do speak English?
Don't let them see you. If they see you, they will kill us both.
Kill us? Why? Who are they?
I thought you were one of them. That's why...
Hidden option 4 is to seduce her.
It's just great.
Popping out of that tank in the submarine in the ground there, you wouldn't really be in a prime position, stinking 15 years worth of filth and unkept everything. I don't know if you'd be doing much sexy seductions in that position. Frozen Fire says stop shooting people, and Void Bar says no, I don't think we will. I gotta scroll down for the seduction option. 1 vote each, please. So use the hammer, kill them both loudly, take them out quietly. So the hammer is something we had down in the vault there. That was something we brought up with us. I'm seeing 4 votes for 1, 5, 6 votes for 3. They give it another couple seconds. No one chose 2. Everyone wants to avoid killing them both loudly. We are going take them out quietly. That was the popular vote. We got 1 vote for 2. That part was less quiet. Notably less quiet. But I guess at that point there's only 1 left, so it stops mattering.
Do you speak English?
Да, то есть, I mean, yes, I speak English.
Good.
Hey Bullet, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time, right? I hope you enjoy it on your deck.
This lady, she has a shoulder wound. Reckon you can help?
Yes, I think so. Please, put that away and lay her down. She is lucky. It went straight through. But she has lost a lot of blood.
Can you tell me where we are exactly? I don't recognize anything.
Are you lost? Where do you want to go?
That's a good question. Are there any towns or settlements around here?
If you want a settlement, there is a train. Yes, train that will stop near here very soon to unload supplies. If you can board it, it will send you in the right direction.
Really? Then how can I get on this train? I'm guessing I can't just buy a ticket.
No ticket. But you can probably sneak onto the train very easily. It is big train.
Well, we'll see, I guess. So, what do you think I should do with you?
Did the moon landing happen?
I'm just a doctor.
Good question.
not
That would be
soldier,
69,
her.
right?
I can
Right?
tell she's engineer from her uniform, not a fighter. If you spare her, please spare me.
There are
Take my
probably all
weapon, I
sorts
don't
of
care.
interesting alternate history details that either are or could be layered into a game like this. I'm actually not certain if like one like that would have happened. Did Russia win? Yeah, I actually don't know to what degree those sorts of questions get answered. I think like there are manuals and textbooks and things in this game that have like 100 pages in them if you really want to flip through and like ingest the lore. I don't know how much time was put into rewriting history for the sake of those. It's more about like the different factions that exist in the game, and maybe you can kind of fill it in, paint in the blanks outside of that. Australia wasn't as involved with the space race, but that doesn't mean that like it wouldn't have affected things to have a major country like that get nuked. Weird amount of votes for 4. Not gonna count any of those. The joke is, I get the joke. It's losing steam for me because I'm also trying to like read everyone's votes and things. So let's see. I got about 3, 4 for 2. I think I'm counting 4 for 3. I think we actually have a tie going in here so far. So, better safe than sorry. Shoot him, let him live, put him to sleep first, or let fate decide. I guess I'm gonna have to be the tie break. I'm just confirming 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we're getting new votes on one all of a sudden. I think we're going with 2 then.
Can't let you warn anyone.
Out of the corner of my eye, did something weird just happen with the stream? It's the second time I thought I noticed on my streaming software kind of live preview where it looked like things kind of bugged out for half a second. I hope it's not anything major happening on your guys' end.
Empty everything from this car. Leave the prisoners alone.
For the sake of clarity on the votes, I'll start putting people who vote not real options in like timeout. You're welcome to joke about what like options could be and stuff, but if you start just like spamming a number that's not even a viable thing, then like it's not really contributing, is it?
Quiet.
But then after the vote, feel free to joke around. That's what we're here for. I keep talking over the people who are speaking English.
Why are we moving backwards? Are we on a train? Are we on an RAEF train? Have you gone mad?
I don't know who you are, who they are, or why it matters whose train this is. I was told it'll take me to a settlement, so that's where I'm going.
We might get past the settlement, but this train is going to head straight into one of their underground stations. Do you have a plan for that?
Plan? What was your plan when you decided to point a gun at me? Look, I'm sorry. There isn't a plan. What do you suggest?
I think we should get off this train. Not now, maybe further along where it's warmer. I think, with some luck, we can drive this car straight off the back without anyone noticing.
Fine, but it needs a key, and the key isn't here.
I'll make an agreement with the chat. This is kind of unfolding here. That if there is ever the option to seduce or flirt even, that will default to that one. We will jump to that option first if it ever comes up. I promise you that. Then we won't have to fake vote for the seduction option every single time. So, before, there was the hammer. I grabbed the hammer from the drawer. It introduced that as an option. Here, you can either shoot him from a distance, take him out up close, or use the strength options. So there are going to be points in the game where you could only do it if you had the strength, or you could only do it if you had the internalizer, and sometimes both will be present, and it's just a matter of which one you have unlocked. And so here, can't use the strength, you'd be able to replay the game and then see what the strength option is. So that alone, that strength and internalizer, creates a reason to play the game more than once, and then there's other things that also add that as well. There's a fair number of votes for 2, but we're mostly getting votes for 1. A few people were changing their vote, but I think everyone kind of ended up settling out, and looks like 1 is the winner. Shoot from a distance. I can't believe the bargain worked. It's a funny idea. I don't remember if there's any seduction in this game. I don't think so, but I'll keep an eye out. Especially if we end up somewhere I'm less familiar with.
Центр, это Черный Медведь 4-5. Мы наткнулись на странное судно. Дрейфует вдоль восточного берега сектора Д.
Черный Медведь 4-5. Удалось опознать судно?
Никак нет, это какой-то батискаф, что ли.
Черный Медведь 4-5. Сообщите координаты.
So, we've kind of partially been found out. Someone saw a little bit of blood, and we're immediately on to the next choice again. Throw him off the train, smash his head, or break his neck. The descriptions of the things that you're going to end up doing are very blunt, very direct, and very aggressive. It's not like hit him in the head, smash his head, break his neck, throw him off the goddamn train. It's intense. It's intense stuff. I got to be mindful of where the separation is of the numbers that were cast for the previous vote and now this one. Let's see. Tie between 1 and 2 so far. Now it's a tie all the way around. You hear the publisher threaten the dev. Yeah, I'll make this game exactly what I want it to be. Now, I very purposely stay out of the creative decisions. We have a 3-way tie between all of them with, I think, 3 votes each. There we go. That was the difference maker. Aha! Okay, it's tipped over. A few vote changes, additional votes coming in. We have tipped over. Throw him off the train. 1 is now the popular choice. You really just booted him. That was much more aggressive than I thought it would be.
Где-то в 200 метрах к западу от судна. Это наши. Думаю, надо сообщить госбезопасность.
Черный Медведь 4-5. Вас понял. Оставайтесь там, держите позицию.
I really like even just the effects of the snow falling and stuff. I feel like it looks really, really good.
I saw what you did. I'm guessing you're not with these guys. Can you get us out?
Oh yeah, the vote tracking cutoff was just confusing in that one scenario. It's not often in the game that choices are back to back like that.
If you can help us out, we'll return the favor.
Well, I don't know. I'll have a look.
Oh yeah, that that's supposed to be censored. Oh shit, we even caught that wasn't properly censored in the streamer mode, and apparently never properly addressed it. It's pretty minor. It's not something that I expect to get flagged, but whoops. The RAEF supply train.
It should remain closed. Don't want to wake those guys.
Ooh, 10 lock picks left. This is my first proper pick of having to actually try.
Ah, shit.
Alright, so I know those 2 first. Maybe a little bit of back and forth.
Snap.
Nope.
Ah,
shit.
Snap.
Alright, I don't know if I caught that. Yeah, there it is. So it's basically just a trial and error on that. Nah, I'll just blur it out in post. Monetization will be intact. Honestly, maybe I should just turn monetization off on this anyways and allow the focus to be on the game and not interrupt people with ads and everything.
It's mine now.
We have a pistol. And okay, this one I will treat as a choice. The options are to either do this thing or not do this thing. And when it's just like interact with the dead body or not. Whatever. That's like not a choice. This, the button, who knows what it could do. I actually don't remember. I don't remember if it's like a negative thing. I'm going to let people vote on that. About just whether or not it gets chosen. Because I don't recall. Immediately, people started coming into just do it. Everyone. The stream is effectively a long ad. It's accurate. Can't deny that. Everyone, not a single person said don't push it. Oh, we had to. We had to push it. That's how we rescue the guy. Maybe we didn't have to. Like, we potentially could have not. But yes, that is the intended interaction on that
Plates and
one.
bowls. Looks like a sink. I need keys. It's an oven, I suppose. That's mine now. A knife for every occasion. Coffee mugs. If I had something to scoop up, I'd take it.
If only I had something to scoop. You could scoop your feelings. It's kind of funny, just like the spatula, hammer, ladle, and just collecting this random objects from around people's house. So come back later. House. Add an emetic to the drink. So that's not a real one. We got to come back to that. That's something that we actually have to do.
I don't have anything I need to plug in. A speaker or an intercom. Don't know who's on the other side. A banner of some sort. Never. I really don't want to wake them. Wonder if these fellas will be those other guys from before.
You can't pluck the grenade. I thought that would be a reasonable thing to try right away.
Must have seen some action. He's asleep. Or drunk. Maybe both. Looks like a cup of tea. Yoink. Yoink.
The Bloody Rippa grip. I don't actually really know. Like, that's for a gun, I presume. A pistol grip seems to be part of a much larger weapon. It looks like a safety button as well as a trigger.
That's mine now.
So, return later. That's not a real option. The options here are ask with the knife or ask with the suppressed pistol.
I should find something to threaten this guy with before I talk to him. A shutter. Don't want to wake those guys. Don't want to wake those
Okay,
guys.
I just wanted to poke around there. We have our very direct one of these two options going on here. I don't think there's really crafting in the sense where you sit down and combine objects, but like there might be things in the game where if you have two necessary components or items, then together they create something that you can interact with. See, I think the stream just did that bugging out visual thing again. I don't know what's up with that. The voting is getting confusing on this one because return later is being treated as, I think people are meaning to treat ask with knife as one. So let's just, for the sake of clarity, in these scenes when they come up where one of them is do nothing, we'll still treat that as one. And this will be 2 and this will be 3. Just to keep it consistent, even when one is clearly like not a thing. So I'm going to assume everyone is trying to say ask with a knife. And a couple people said the other, but mostly the knife.
Oi, where are the keys to the Jeeps?
Jeans? I don't have any jeans.
Jeeps. The Jeeps. Where are the keys?
You want Jeep? You're going for a ride? Nah, you should ask Fyodor. And he's finishing drinking tea. He will take you for a drive.
1, don't progress through the game. Okay, new vote. I guess in a situation like this where they come up really close together, I will insert my own like interruption to break up the vote casting in the chat. Which I guess with the way the delay works, that might be kind of weird. You're gonna see me type something in the chat 5 seconds before the new option presents itself. So we either let him live or slit his throat. Yeah, wow, I really wish that the screen bugging out would stop happening, but I don't know how to fix that whatsoever, so I guess... What is even it popping up on screen with? It's insane looking. Weighing towards 2. 2 has the higher vote so far. 2 is kind of turning into the runaway choice. A little bit more votes coming in for 1. 2 seems to be taking the lead. You guys are violent as hell. Everyone's choosing violence today. By everyone, I mean majority, but it's pretty common. It's really kind of fucked up.
At least he was out of it. Probably didn't feel a thing.
Probably didn't. We'll just hope that that's true.
He's the only one with a cup of tea. Got a 9 now. They're asleep. Hope they stay that way.
So, we have his tea, add an emetic to the drink. Not bananas, fish, sausages, apple.
This'll get him off his ass.
I don't really know why a train full of soldiers would have Ipecac. I don't actually know. I just slap him in the face or something? Just flick in the ear. There you go. God, it would be so cold. It would be terrible. Hot tea. Hot tea for me, please. Emetic is just, I'm assuming, because this is what Ipecac is that it just induces vomiting. So the train manifest for the supply delivery, valid until June 14th, 2073. Departure time, which that would be 8 o'clock. Inspect cargo, inspect crew. Estimated arrival at Oatford at 2030, departure 2045. Deliver contents from the carriage at designated stop. Load contents onto truck. And a less estimated arrival in L Heights. Unload SPG and munitions. Transfer captives. And train terminates. I assume it means it terminates its journey. I don't think we're suddenly going into a Choo-Choo Charles moment if we're going to have to fight this train. That's what Magenta Horizon's for. If you want to get in a fight with a train, you can be playing Magenta Horizon instead. So, jam the knife in his head, throw him from the train, or shoot him with the suppressed pistol. We've already tossed one poor sap from the train. Here's our opportunity to do an additional toss. Sorry, just while you guys are voting, I can just have a quick moment to take a quick look at a little bit of trying to keep a close eye on like messages and stuff throughout the day. Release day, people are just gonna come asking for things. Review press copies of the game, bug fixes, ways to bring it to new storefronts and things. Like I have a couple hours here where I'll be playing, but like then I kind of gotta get back into publisher game release mode. So 3 votes for 1, couple votes for 2, couple votes for 3. Ooh, 2 may have just pulled. 2 is pulling into the lead actually. I think 2 is the direction we're going. Hey Dungeon Nation, good to see you. Thanks for swinging by. So we're going throw him off the train. That ended up being the popular vote. Ixia points out that we may risk losing the keys. I knew that one was coming. Oh god. It's so much more messed up than the previous being thrown off the train. We still got the key. It wasn't actually a risk in that scenario. He's just gonna nap through all this? I guess she did get shot. That's pretty understandable. Yeah, brutal. When the game has a violent moment, it's usually aggressively violent. It doesn't really hold anything back, which is very in line with the old Ray games, just elevated through quality of art and animation.
I'm alright, just...
You're going to crash. Let me drive.
I guess the train has almost no choice but to keep going. It would take a long time for it to slow down and everything, so...
Quite a painful one at that.
Pretty decent
but the
getaway.
adventure was just getting started.
And now the game starts. Kind of. Like, it not really, but like... I kind of really love, actually, the pace of the story in this game. It has really exciting moments that lets up a little bit. And like,
How about I crack my noggin and sleep in for the rest of the week?
Why not make it a month? We could all do with a break from your whinging.
I love whinging. Whinging is a fantastic word. I don't like the act of whinging, but I like the word a lot. May also notice that the bush rangers are referring to him as a bomb dodger. I am going to take a quick little bathroom break here. I've been slamming coffee. Have not had the most sleep the last few weeks. Releasing a game is stressful, man. Even when you're like not specifically the developer, I'm still right there with it. There's a lot that went into this. So I'm about 70 minutes in, and the prologue content was cut off when the 105 years passes, immediately before emerging and meeting the girl who's up top there. So the cutoff of the prologue was something like 40 minutes ago. So it's a little while there. I will be back very shortly, and we can poke around in the Bush Rangers little camp area here. He has returned. Maybe I should have posed a question for people. I see Frozen Fire's asking if anyone's watched any good movies lately. And I have not watched a lot of movies lately, but I'm really excited for Spider-Verse. Definitely going to check that out sometime soon. Back at it. I'll poke around a little bit before I initiate. No, I meant to just click on the radio there. I guess I am initiating the conversation after all. I'll just kind of go in order.
How'd we end up here?
You don't remember?
No, I don't.
After you crashed the car we had just commandeered, I managed to pull you out of the seat to drive. We're lucky the car worked at all. They would have been searching the area for hours. We went further into bushland. They could not follow.
Right, I get that, but what I mean is, how did we get here? You just found this place?
No, I know my way around the area. These people are my friends.
I had been planning on doing a flashlight episode on Ray and leading into Repella Fella. It's been on my to-do list for a couple months. It seemed like a really exciting way to kind of usher in the release of this game. And then I underestimated the amount of other stuff that was going to need to go into preparing the game for a full launch. And so I'm kind of regretful that I didn't get that done ahead of the game's release, but it's still something I would like to do, absolutely. Sit down, do a full interview with Phil, ask him about what it meant to him to make that game 20 years ago. It was longer ago. He made the game longer ago than he was age of making it. He was 17 when he made it, and it's 20 years later now. So, pretty crazy.
That train we were on, and all those people yesterday, they were soldiers. Who were they?
They are the RAEF. They control the entire region, the entire state. At one time, they almost controlled the entire country. It's best to avoid them.
Those people outside, who are they?
Bushrangers. Officially, we are nothing more than criminals. We do what we can to survive. Sometimes it means doing things you may not be comfortable with. You should prepare yourself for this.
These guys outside, are they gonna expect me to do anything?
We are all expected to do what we are best at.
I mean, you should probably try and do something, right?
If you serve a purpose, you will be forced out.
Don't be a total mooch.
You will end up in one of the colonies. Life for someone like you will not be easy there.
Yeah, fair enough. What were you doing the day we met? Why were you out there?
I was heading south. I'd lived in the cold for too long. We have shelters all around the coast. It's better down here.
So, I heard you're an engineer.
My occupation in the RAEF before I escaped. I can fix things, or I can tear them down. This is how I help.
And Bomb Dodger, what everyone was kind of calling me when I first woke up there.
Just before, I heard someone call me a bomb dodger. What's that supposed to mean?
When the bombs fell all those years ago, groups of people, nobody really knows how many, were sent to live underground, or under the sea it seems. These people, your parents, grandparents, and yourself, have not suffered like the rest of us. So when they come out of hiding, they're labeled bomb dodgers.
Parents? Grandparents? I was by myself the whole time.
Ha ha. Maybe you hit your head on your way to the surface. It has been 105 years, more or less. You either are a lot older than you look or very, very confused.
Kind of the first realization of the amount of time that's passed. Like, he was made aware of it. He was told that time would pass differently down in that system, but, like, kind of maybe wouldn't believe it. He hasn't really had a lot of time to think through everything he's been experiencing here.
Sorry about your shoulder.
We're both alive. That is all that matters. Hey, before you go...
Yeah?
After you shot me, why did you take me with you?
Well, I guess this is the flirtation option that I pre-approved myself for. How did the time dilation happen? It's just a part of the Garn system, the hyperbolic chamber or whatever it's being referred to in the game. I don't think there's like a very thorough explanation of why time passes differently down there. It's just like, it's this space-aged futuristic bit of tech that is one part survival pod, one part time travel, you know? I had kind of said, not just kind of, I had promised that if a flirtation option ever came up, I would choose it at least this once, and it's the way the vote is going anyways. I don't like it. I don't like being creepy to this woman who our, like, destiny is now kind of linked up with, and I feel like this will just make things awkward, but this is your guys' playthrough as much as mine. It's your choice.
Well, I haven't seen a woman in a while, and you were looking pretty good. Thought it might improve me chances.
Ugh. Rock.
Taking her with you after shooting her might improve your chances. I think you're worried about the wrong things there, mate. Didn't come across looking too good there.
I'm in some sort of shack.
Ooh, hidden tape.
Ms. Alexandra, I've been belting that bloody thing on and off for weeks now, and I still can't get it open. Dad brought back some program he thinks might help, but none of us are keen to touch it in case we bugger it up. They call it a Blaze Constructor. He put it on that fancy gadget we came across last year. It's set up outside for whenever you get back. I rigged it to the old floater battery, so you got plenty of juice. If you happen to crack it open, let us know what was inside.
I kind of want to just poke around, read the different pamphlets and things that help kind of flesh out this world. Old Man Semenov's Circumventions. Blaze Constructor, which is what it was just being referred to on the tape there. Not all circumvention software is the same, and Old Man Semenov's Blaze Constructor 4.0 is here to prove it. As the leader in computerized security, OMS is able to bypass any digital lock, firewall, and security system in the world. Old Man Semenov does it again. Does not include OMS security systems. Oh, so it can't hack its own security systems, if I'm reading that right?
It's that uniform she was wearing when I met her.
Put things back where you find them. Whoever took my knife again without putting it back, you're gonna get a swift kick up the arse. I can't cut your dinners with a fucking butter knife. Return it. I was just admiring the level of detail put into the bloody fingerprint, actually. Dylan. Reminder, it won't be long now. I'm off to get supplies this afternoon. We'll be back within the week. Alexandra is back early, so give her something to do. I'm pretty sure this is Alexandra. If anything happens, do your best to make it north.
It's a shotgun. Looks a little battered.
So you can just kind of poke around with that. I don't think there's anything we can do. I don't believe we can take that one with us.
Eastern Bloc Autos.
Just a regular June. I guess we could have tried to be strategic and release the game on like June 15th or something, but Mondays strategically are like a good target release day. Whiteout just joined back in the chat, wants a quick catch up on what's been happening. Basically, we got off the train, passed out, woke up back here. And yes, we did literally attempt to flirt with Alexandra like 2 minutes ago. And it didn't go over very well. I apologize that you missed it after being such an advocate for it.
I'm sure I need one of those. An old rifle. Crates. Cardboard box.
To do. June 2nd. It's my birthday. Good news. We found out where the gun runners are operating. We followed the whirlybird as best we could, but lost it over a mountain. We kept going in that direction until we hit something. Then there was nothing. Then there was. Nothing special, basically a 2-story house. We'll keep an eye on them for a few days and see how it all operates. This is not all stuff that I think we really need to look through. Oh, this one is simple. It's only just these 2 pages here. Maybe I read through all of it. It's quite a lot. There's quite a lot of books in this game that collectively have a lot of dialogue, and so setting the precedent of reading every bit of text is probably not something I want to dive straight into. It's it would inflate quite dramatically, quite quickly. I'm being asked to read it. 2 pages, that's one thing. It gets lengthy at others.
I wonder if this works.
Nah, it's fucked.
Straight to the point. Well, thanks for weighing in on that.
June 14, 2073.
Gun Runner Confession.
Okay, buddy. Let's try again, shall we?
This is just from like a day ago.
You know almost everything about how you operate. All that's left are the coordinates and any identifying papers we can use. You tell me about those, and I'll leave you alone. How about it?
You're fucking dead.
I'm getting sick of playing this game.
I'll tell you, just stop.
Nobody's gonna find you out here, mate. Give it up.
The papers, the ID, there's a safe, a red safe, in the basement.
Basement? Basement of where?
Where you found me.
You sure about that?
Come on, please, I swear.
So it's an interesting question being asked in the chat. He spent 105 years of real-world time down there, 15 years of his own life, and the game makes reference to the fact that other people would have lived multiple generations of their families in bunkers. Those are the bomb dodgers. So I think the way that it plays out in the game is that the Garn system, the one that would have acted as that hyperbolic chamber to make time pass differently, was like a new bit of technology at the time, and it was expensive, so it would have just been uncommon. Not a lot of people had them, hadn't gone through the trouble of setting them all up, and so there really
I can't tell what's inside of it.
there really wouldn't be very many of them, and it would be the reason why these people haven't encountered this before.
How's it going?
Pretty good, thanks, mate. I'm Henry. You feeling all right now?
Yeah, not bad. Is that my rifle?
Ah, yours, is it? She's a beauty, she is. I hope you don't mind, but I added a few bits and bobs.
No, I don't mind, as long as it still works.
Of course. Haven't seen one like this before. Where'd you get it?
My old man gave it to me. Used to belong to his old man. It's from the war.
From the war, huh?
So, grandfather, that one's probably like one of the world wars.
Supply run?
Food, water, medical supplies. It's for the trip up to... You know what? If you stick around, you'll find out soon enough.
Chop down for firewood, maybe? Looks like they're not going to run out of food anytime soon.
It's kind of a good thing to know that food is mostly taken care of.
Pretty dodgy looking, but I guess it's doing the job. It's a gate for the car. It's a toolbox. I don't need it. A jerry can.
I'm actually surprised jerry can is still the word in Australian. Petrol, I mean, for the gas itself, but like jerry can, I would have assumed you guys would have had your own crazy name for that.
Thought I'd miss seeing rocks.
Classic.
Looks and smells so fresh out here. A rag or a towel, maybe.
I guess 15 years of smelling your own BO. Yeah, it would be nice to look at some rocks and smell some flowers. Did you know the ceramic pieces on a common spark plug can break tempered glass? It's true, the ceramic areas of a spark plug, also known as ninja rocks, are known to utilize the tensile stress found in tempered glass. When struck with the ninja rocks, the glass instantly shatters. This makes ninja rocks a quick and silent alternative to other window smashing techniques. I don't really know why this would be advertised or who it would be advertising it to, like a way of breaking into things. They're also known by this name because of their quiet but deadly role in burglaries and a passing resemblance to the shuriken, a thrown weapon that is traditionally associated with ninjas. The spark plug isn't. The ninja rocks, I guess, are meant to look like shurikens. This guy hasn't touched grass in 15 years. Yeah, you know, just your average Redditor here. I use Reddit. It's weird. It's weird to dunk on a community like that when you use it. But they'll be in on the joke too.
You're the bomb dodger who was stuck underground, aren't you?
Yeah, sort of. Let me ask you a question though. What is it you guys do here?
There's not much to it, really. We see something.
I just noticed.
And we take it.
Misty is sleeping in the corner there.
Fight the Russians?
What do you mean by fight the Russians?
Well, I couldn't help but notice that they're sort of overrunning the place. Isn't someone out there trying to stop them?
Well, it's not that simple. If we stop them, we'd lose all our border protection. Then we'd all be stuffed. We don't share love for one another, but we need them.
Border protection? By the Russians? For what? What's on the other side of the border?
It's bloody torture talking to you guys. There's a book around here that should explain it a lot better than I can.
Yeah, right. I'll leave you to it then. Thanks.
Just tired of explaining things to the bomb dodgers. After I suggested that Australians should have their own silly phrase for a jerry can, Frozen Fire pitched Jeremy Canister, and I just missed that. I thought that was a great one. Jeremy Canister. Classic Australian phrase.
During your travels, you might come across a device or two. Computers, locks, or even robots. Hidden in and around these devices are things you might want to take with you. To bypass these devices, all you need to do is match the pairs on screen. You can technically do them in any order of colour, but if you don't want to be penalised, you should follow the order indicated at the top here. Be quick though, because there's a time limit. If it hits 0, you'll have to try again.
The hacking
Some
sequences
devices
are
you
like
might only get
a
one
little
shot.
tricky. They're
So use
super
this line of
doable.
practice as much as you
I
need to.
like the idea of adding extra complexity, that it isn't just matching, it's matching with the sequencing being layered in.
Safe. I don't see any way to open it.
Watch out there, Henry. I'm trying to get at the phone. So, I'm looking for yellows first. Okay, there's my first match. So you gain time when you manage to match those up. I believe that was, maybe in the corner there. So I think that's all the yellows. So now I need to start looking for red matches. I should have been paying a little bit better attention to what was where. So as long as you're careful with the sequencing, you like gain that time back so you don't end up losing excessive amounts of time. But if you do them out of order or do anything sloppy, then it drains it more quickly. The hacking is like a little bit tricky, but when you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. Same as the lockpicking. They're both quite simple. And the game doesn't have a ton of like interactive moments like that. Phil has said quite a few times that if he does have the luxury of being able to make a sequel, then he wants to make the entire game a little bit more gamey, more mini games, more interactions to play out in between the story selections and the point and click wandering around. He wants like more of all of that. When can you die again to make the narrator forcibly repeat the story? I don't recall when the next one is. There's plenty of opportunities, though.
Looks like an invoice.
So, build to Terrence Hearn at the outpost. So this is also from Garn, but it's dated from like less than a year ago of the game's current time. So we know that Garn is still around. A ballistic syringe loaded dart. And a diminishinization solution for $24,000. So the first part of that bill is pretty inconsequential. Probably could have thrown that one in for free. Warning, highly experimental, not recommended for use on conventional organic life forms, likely to result in disfigurement or death. Effects are irreversible, strictly for administration in cold environment 5 degrees or below. So I believe the Garn systems becomes like a recurrent part of this game. With the mysterious syringe.
Some paperwork. It's been stashed here. It's powering that device on top, I'd say. I don't think he's breathing.
Yeah, he doesn't appear to be in great shape.
Meat hooks.
Ooh, okay, a nice big long lockpick sequence. So you push them until they stay up.
I snapped the thing.
So I know those two, then I know if I go one further it doesn't work, so you start working backwards on them. If I just start alternating, nope, that wasn't it. Oh no, okay, that was just sloppy. Russian.
I gotta try again.
But not the kind of Russian you're thinking. Now alternating. Oh, come on, I'll try. Yes. It's really easy to use up your lockpicks on one like that. One that's that size.
Like that?
A Russian MPADS. So I kind of want to just check on that stuff, actually. Some kind of dart. There are some papers next to it. They mentioned it can only be used in cold weather. This has come up quite a bit. That, like, you can still see things like the tea mug in your collected items, so it doesn't work as a traditional inventory the way you might think, because you don't actually ever come here to pull out an item. If you have ever found it, then it will be usable in its relevant sections. So it's not a matter of sorting through all this, so instead it kind of just exists as a list of things you have found before. And if it has a purpose further on in the game, then it'll be there when you need it. AA launcher, a surface-to-air missile launcher. Never seen one like this before. Russian, maybe? Haven't talked to this guy, carving up the kangaroo.
Good morning. What'd this guy do? Him? He had a bad attitude.
Is he dead?
It's kind of an extreme reaction to someone with a bad attitude.
He had some interesting things to say about his mates. I was told you're off to meet them. You should go and talk to Pete about it. Over there, near the fire.
Will do.
I've never eaten kangaroo. It's totally not like an apocalypse only thing. Like, people do eat kangaroo.
G'day.
Don't waste your breath. You won't get anything out of him. He hasn't said a word since he joined us. We're not even sure he can talk.
What's he doing up there?
He's the lookout. We're pretty safe this far out, but every now and then there's trouble.
Don't know how you'd get everyone's attention if you did need anything, though. Potentially not the best lookout for that reason.
You must use that to see whatever's coming this way. I've never seen one of those before.
I guess it is maybe a little odd that he doesn't have like a simple little idle animation. I guess even the main character doesn't. I guess that was just kind of a choice to save having to animate dozens of more things for specific poses of characters and what have you. But there's still like is enough passive things going on in the background to make it feel like lively and lived in.
Oi! Don't fiddle with that.
What is it?
We call it the Shroud. Helps hide the place from any passing planes,
Shroudy.
and that sort of thing. From up there, everything down here looks like bushland.
What happens without it?
Well, we have to pack up and move around more often, which is a fucking headache. Leave it be.
It seems like quite the established shack, but I guess the shack could have already been there and they just have to move their individual like items.
How's it going there?
Look who it is. Welcome back to the
I love the voice acting for this character.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. Are you in charge here?
something like that.
God, he's got a good voice.
G'day.
I was told you're a bomb dodger.
Yeah, so I heard.
Stupid fucking name. Anyway, I don't care where you've been or who you are. So long as you're willing to pull your weight, you're welcome to stay. Which brings me to today's activity. Alexandra gave us a pretty good idea of where your skills lie, and we'd like to put them to the test.
What do you need?
Good attitude. Ned here is going to take you out for a drive. He'll let you know what you need to do. Do what he says, make it back in one piece, and you can call this place home.
I actually really enjoy Ned's voice actor as well.
We won't be here much longer.
Okay.
This guy, I'm pretty sure Pete,
And before you go,
just an incredible voice. Ned, just like a really expressive, suitable voice.
we don't see many of you guys anymore, so we've only got this outdated version. It's probably better than the shit they had you learning in your hidey hole.
Bomb Dodger's Bible.
All right then.
The
Never be
15th
off.
edition.
And remember, do exactly as he says. You make it back and we can all get to know each other some more.
Let me know when you're ready.
Ned just seems like a good bud. Someone you'd want to hang out with, you know? Yeah, a mute lookout is... It's a kind of a confusing one. Because he still has his eyes. So he still has that. But he's going to be limited in what he can, I don't know, like, report or share. So the Bomb Dodger's Bible. Preface, history, charted territories, factions, wildlife, weaponry, transportation, hazards, guides, glossary. Like, this thing has so much to it. Wait, does it? Oh, weird. I don't know why it ended up flipping. Oh, I must have accidentally, like, selected the specific page to go to there. But yeah, if you decide that you really, really want to get into the lore of this game and really take it all in, including things like the history there, it's all in here for you. The Bomb Dodger's Bible, if you were ever curious about diving deep on the lore of this game, that's all you need. There is also the Objectives Journal that is much more straightforward. So, you know, the hacking, just to test that out, learn that. And the shack, looks like I'm in a wooden shack. I don't know how I got here. Last thing I remember is running off the road. I should speak to that lady I was with. And it updates as you go. I spoke to the lady and asked about what I wanted to know. Now to see what's beyond that door. Now I've talked to two fellas by the fence. One's called Pete and the other is Ned. The lady who brought me here, I learned that her name's Alexandra. When I'm done looking around, I need to talk to Ned and head out for the day. I can open this up and look at the history a little bit. I'm mostly just a little bit curious if it has much more to say other than the fact. So it's talking about how other countries reacted to this. Let's see if it says specifically everywhere. Maybe that was bombed. So the Soviet Union Just over 100 years ago in '68, the largest nuclear power station triggered a meltdown. In the chaos, the Soviet Union, let's just call them Russians, was quick to blame foreign nations, crying about sabotage. Pretty soon, more and more power stations began to crumble and implode as thousands died in the resulting chaos. In just a few weeks, most of the place became uninhabitable. Radiation and other poisons soaked the land. It eventually reached borders thousands of kilometers away. Most thought it was the electrical systems the Russians had created that led to their downfall. Cheap materials, improper training, and a disregard for human life, they said. The Russians disagreed. A large chunk of people retreated into the wilderness, fleeing into other countries. People started busting out nuclear weapons. The Chinese and Russians had reached an unknown agreement. They started sending people back and forth. They put their plan into action. So it lays things out in quite a bit of detail. And we start learning it spawned all kinds of shit. Animals start mutating and all sorts of craziness starts happening there. Different territories of how the country has now been like carved up. The different wars that have taken place and factions and things that are all a part of this insanely complicated world. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. What other sort of stuff is there? Things like the wildlife. Rating systems of the types of wildlife, the bin chicken, which I forget, I'm pretty sure Australians it's called pigeons or something like bin chickens. Bites, a brabby, an echidna, emus, koalas, a giant cocky, magpies, and then nimbins. Specifically, some Russian word I can't pronounce. Location, all states. With its dead-eye gaze, rotting teeth, and blue putrid skin, the nimbin remains one of the most reviled critters in Australia. And then it just goes more and more crazy beyond that. The platypus. Yeah, there's a lot. There is a lot in that book. If you're the type who wants to immerse themselves in the lore and know every little shred of detail of how this world we're seeing came to be, then that's the one for you. I think we're all ready. I think we've talked to basically everyone.
Are those my clothes in there?
Is the Nimbin re-dead? Maybe not specifically. Maybe not. We will head out. I think I poked around enough.
Head out?
I won't wait for the vote on that one.
So, you're a bomb dodger, are you? Well, you got a lot
Why
to
was the
learn.
platypus stanced up? Oh, we'll see. Maybe.
What a beauty.
You might want to put that seatbelt on.
A little bit of benefits of a futuristic society here.
So, what is it you want to do with yourself now that you're free?
I don't know, really. Honestly, I spend most of my time worrying about what'll be waiting for me out here.
No goals or ambitions?
It'd be nice to just settle somewhere, you know? Somewhere with a lot of noise and a lot of people. How about you fellas? What are you doing with yourselves?
Your little book there. Turn to the chapter on cities. See that one?
Sephora?
Where people are free to do what they want, when they want, and without these Russian bastards breathing down our necks. But it's a long way away. Hard to reach, and they won't just let anyone inside. Hopefully that'll all change after today.
What do you mean?
Prove that you're one of us, and I'll tell you. Here we are. See that house just past that windmill over there? I want you to take this. Go down there, go into the basement, and bring back a small red safe. Shouldn't be too heavy. Just give us a yell when you're finished, and I'll help you bring it back.
Getting comments in the chat over the mustache. Rocking it in honor of Ray.
Right, and how do you know there's a safe in the basement, or that this is the right place, or that...
Because we beat it out of one of the drop kicks that used to live there. Now get going. It'll be dark soon.
who snuck up as quiet.
So I believe that's the cassette we would have found, was Ned interrogating someone from this house here. Yeah, the way that everything's set up is the keyboard is like right next to the microphone, so it's just, at least today right now how it's set up, it would, and it's a kind of a loud keyboard, so yeah. Okay, so the screwdriver. We never found a screwdriver. We're limited on that option, so we only have the two to choose from. Kill him with the handgun or use the cricket bat. Leaning against the house there. We got the two options. For anyone who's joining us new, we're just using a number system. So 1 in the chat to vote for handgun, 2 for the cricket bat. Unfortunately, no number 3. Can't do that this time. Yeah, I'm not too concerned with the number of people watching the stream, you know. It's as much for, it's just whoever wants to hang out can. People can watch the archived version another time. We're just having fun with it. Yeah, voting with numbers is just kind of for the simplicity of it. Yeah, there we are. Tie vote so far. Slipping towards 2, I would say. Oh, the re-dead, specifically like the Zelda one, rather than just like generic undead. You know, I don't know if that was like an intentional reference to that or not. I think it's kind of meant to be its own thing, its own take on the concept. I couldn't say for sure. Two ended up winning by quite a bit. I kind of forget that cricket bats have like an edge to them, that they aren't just round like a baseball bat, because that shit buried in his skull. Holy hell.
These fellas sounded like some well-mannered individuals.
Ah, immediate new vote again, so everyone can hear my clacky keyboard while I initiate the next vote. Yeah, there is actually a part of me that is like generally grateful and happy about the fact that the audience on this channel for something like this is low enough that I can actually read the chat and follow along with things, and when votes start coming in, it'll be within a range that I can like just kind of tally it in my head and watch them come in, rather than trying to like read through 100 votes and just kind of gauge like, well, I don't know, I think one out of those. Currently right now, like, it's very easy. We have 4 votes for 1, 2 votes for 3, nothing for 2. So I'll give it a short little bit longer here. It looks like 1. Ooh, continuing to pile on for 1. 1. No one's saying the SMG. You never know. I never know what people are going to lean towards, you know? So, the number 1 won by like a landslide there. Nice cozy audience. I agree. Shotgun is a bit of a spread. If you hit one, the dude's dead, and if it hits multiple, then they're both injured. Ah, there's strategy behind these choices here, not even knowing what's on the other side of the door. We're going shotgun. It won overall for sure. Yeah, so much for hitting the other guy with the spray of the shotgun there.
I bet I can help.
I think when the first shot is straight to the face, you don't have to worry so much about landing the other shots, you know? Kind of a done deal.
Through there, down the stairs. Yeah? And how do I get inside? Press the button behind you. What?
Greasy mullet.
Thought you fucking had me, didn't ya? You're not so smart now.
Give him some room. He's today's entertainment. I reckon I know why you're here. And I'll tell you what, if you win at my little game, I'll let you see what's inside before I feed you to the pigs.
Why'd he pump 3 into 1, dude? I don't know, man. But pure panic, probably. So we got 2 here. 16% to let fate decide. Or use the grenade that's on the wall. How risky does everyone want to live? Do you guys want to live dangerously? I mean, no matter what, I think you're living dangerously, but you're risking some things on the first one there. So they don't always just have a determining factor of the items you're carrying. Sometimes it's just a straight % chance. How lucky do you feel? Just play some rock, paper, scissors instead. Yeah, take it down a notch. This is a little bit much. We don't need this. It's funny that it's Russian roulette when the Russians have such a direct, important role in the storyline. Because we're doing Aussie roulette today. I don't think it's a Pico reference. I think it's just a Russian roulette. Majority of people going with 2. I kind of thought people would want to try, tempt fate a little bit. If you die, you just respawn. Respawn. The narration goes back. The 2 won by a lot. We're going 2.
What are you doing, you mad bastard?
Maybe should have tied him up or something. Pretty lucky that it managed to also kill that guy.
I'll be right up.
Once we get back to the others, we'll crack
Efficient.
it open and see if everything's there.
What is that?
What's what? Shit. It's part of a patrol. If it sees or catches up with us, we're done.
Oh, I thought about doing a poll system, and it was just... It would take longer overall. It's and here we have an example of it. By the time I would like set up a poll, send it along, people receive the poll, open the link, vote in it. Oh, you can do polls just like in chat, can't you? You totally can. Let me just try that. I kind of forgot that you can just do polls like that. I don't know how that looks on your guys' side. Actually, I was like vaguely aware that existed. Let's see. Oh yeah, people are using it. It's working. Okay. I actually totally forgot that YouTube eventually ended up implementing something that could serve this purpose without needing to open up like a straw poll or anything. I'm such a dummy for not thinking to do that sooner. It's actually way more people are taking part in it too. So I probably people who are just looking to lurk or whatever and don't really feel like taking part in the chat. Oh, it's so much better. Thank you for mentioning it. Who was that? Crispy Con. I can't believe I didn't think to do that sooner. I totally forgot that was even a thing. No, when I first brought up polls, I was referring to like back in the day, you used to have to set up a straw poll and share the link, and like it was a headache. This is way better. Number one, with 53% of the votes, use the mounted machine gun.
I'll try and hit it with the gun on the back.
That was 1,000 times better. I'm doing that for every future vote. I don't know. It's a great feature. It's a fantastic feature. I'm an idiot. No one can like double vote, things like that.
What are you waiting for? Shoot the fucking thing!
You shouldn't have gotten so close there, dude.
He's going down.
Well, the engine's shot. Literally. We're gonna have to walk it.
Just has a
Let's get off the
bullet
road and
through
find a
it.
place to sleep.
On that very same night, not too far away, some hounds were put on the scent.
How long ago was it taken?
Roughly 24 hours ago.
The evidence is probably contaminated by now. Excuse me for asking, sir, but why are we here? Attacks and theft are
2073, and there's cassette
Before I
tapes,
examine
propeller
evidence, I
planes,
can
hover
tell at least
cars.
one person is
It's a little all over the place. Yep.
locals are more than
Enough.
capable.
We don't have time for questions. Why we are here is not a concern for either of us. You are to examine the area and establish a trail for us to follow. This task has been given the highest priority. I await your report.
Yes, sir.
I think the idea is that because all of this started back in 1968, we have all of these kind of like lingering technologies, old, outdated supplies and ways of doing things that still existed at that time. But then things like the Garn system, where you have kind of that hyperbolic sleep where you jump ahead in the future, that is so clearly futuristic. But that was a piece of tech that existed in 1968. So we've jumped forward into a future starting from the past, but a more underground, technologically advanced version of the past. And so I really love that aspect of the game, that you end up with this anachronistic amalgamation of technologies from so many different periods of time. And so the game has futuristic elements, like even the gun she's carrying or the drone that was flying around taking photos of this Jeep and everything, combining that with things like cassette players or like guns from multiple wars ago, all of that. I am curious how the objective journal works. Yes, it's a fresh, separate journal when you're playing as the different characters. My brain hurts. Yeah, there's a little bit of crisscrossing going on with the timeline. You can consult the Bomb Dodgers Bible if you want the full deets. I've been called out to a crime scene. As a new recruit to the Ministry of State Security, I have been given the task of investigating the area. I should start by gathering evidence and establishing a trail to follow. My commanding officer informed me that a Red Army Expeditionary Force, so there we have the RAEF, and finally know what that is, train had recently been attacked by an unidentified man. During the attack, the suspect was shot in the leg and a blood sample was gathered from the area. I must see if I can find a matching sample. I could be consulting the journal for each one of these branching points. I just know that this is kind of a short scene, and so to check this stuff, we get a little bit more of the story and what's going on. And the vehicle contains an excess amount of blood. It might belong to more than one person. I need to investigate that possibility and finding all relevant clues. So we just want to get in there and inspect.
At some stage, but not here. There are no fragments of an impact nearby.
You know, the tires all jacked up.
The front door.
Guess it's not a gun. It's like a crime scene gun.
Perfect. It matches the blood sample I was given from the train. Bullet holes. More blood. It's from another person. There were two people.
The amount those trees are swaying is kind of excessive, isn't it?
No fingerprints on the steering wheel. The driver either cleaned it or they were wearing some form of hand protection.
The crime scene gun. Patent pending on that one.
This damage, it did not occur here. The vehicle must have crashed elsewhere. There does not seem to be any evidence here. The rear wheel. The vehicle traveled to this area from the east. At low speed, it seems. There is nothing more I can learn from this.
I didn't expect the animation and things to be this complicated based on the trailers. Dang it. The trailers kind of make an effort to try and show off some of the flashier bits of animation. I'm glad that it ends up feeling more lively than what you saw in the trailers. That's, if it was going to tip in any direction, that's the one I would rather it go, that you get more from it than you would expect.
I do not have time to socialize. My duty is to investigate the area, not this man.
Establish a trail to follow. That's, I would say, like the one bit that we haven't. There we go.
In the direction of the blood trail. But for how long? I believe I have all I need to make a report. I have concluded my investigation.
What is your report?
The blood inside of the vehicle is a match for the sample found on the train. Additionally, another sample was found on the passenger seat, indicating there was more than one person inside. The sample has finished processing. It is a match for a deserter. A female, aged 33, an engineer.
Never mind that. What else?
Nothing else worth mentioning.
Then it is safe to assume that the firearm resting on the rear seat wasn't worth investigating?
Firearm? No, sir. I mean, yes, sir. I will go back and...
We wasted enough time. The blood is a match. Perhaps you can do a better job of following the trail than you did here.
I'm glad people enjoyed Crinkle's stream. That was really exciting when he agreed to, like, play the game. And at first it was kind of just, like, him being nice and being like, yeah, cool. Throwback to the old Newgrounds days. But then he ended up really enjoying it, which is great to see.
Almost as ridiculous as yours.
Well, you know what
you have to do.
Is it raining where you are?
It's snowing, actually.
Of course it is.
I think the fella is meant to be like 40 something probably, or at least near that.
What are you waiting for?
There's a tin can walking up
I
and
mean,
down the street.
yeah, over 105. That's true.
Shouldn't be a problem. Any more excuses?
Oh.
So this is kind of a contained section, and now that we're talking about the anachronistic future technology and thing in this game, there are cities such as this one where the game things are notably more like cyberpunk and futuristic, and there's like a robot cop and things like that. So like different parts of the world have been set in the Dark Ages or straight up to the future. And then there's like all these weird in-between things. I love the way that that's all handled in the game here.
Haven't had a smoke in ages. Looks pretty sleek.
Oh well, you guys are the ones shipping him in Alexandria. I don't think the game has been doing that so much as you all have been. The threat is obvious. U.S.
Tempting.
Hot and moist chubby chicken. I don't know if red rooter, I don't think is a thing. I don't know if chubby chicken is that it's a cock with a cock too. That's really gross and funny. Chubby chicken was a thing in Canada, specifically in A&W. We have a different A&W than the States does. Ours is better, by the way. I don't know if Australia has that. I assume that's its own joke in the game here.
Don't need anything in there. It's
Don't rope me in with these people.
one-stop murder shop. It prevents cars from mounting the footpath. It's a Ladia. Looks like junk, but looks aren't everything. It's a camera. I don't need to worry about it. Apparently, this is private property. It's a gate with a lock on it. Pies, teas, and coffee. Pies. Some labeled surprise.
Surprise
I'll
pies.
without those. It's a stool. I bet that pie's cold. I should be careful not to hurt this fella. I'm wasting time. I don't need those. I guess Kenji owns the place. That's too far away. I need to be closer.
Okay, so this people sometimes get stuck at this little section here. You actually can just blow right past them. I guess I'll show off what happens if you linger a little long, or just initiate a conversation with this guy.
It's last night. It seems they are not even trying to hide it.
You can interact with basically everything, yes.
Makes you wonder who'll be next. I would not worry if I were you.
That's definitely him.
Wait a minute. Don't I know you?
So that's just initiating a conversation. This is remaining in his eye line for too long.
Now that I think about it, that didn't happen. Let me go over it again.
I should try to draw less attention to myself.
The walk slowly is maybe not the most helpful description, because the real solution is just walk straight past him.
A cardboard box. Here it
Little
is.
heap of trash back here. This is what we were told on the call at the opening of this scene.
Greetings, Agent.
Oh, it's jammed. I can't seem to unjam it. Fucking thing. Maybe there's something in my car I can use. Hope nobody sees me take this. Smells like shit. I should move on to other things. This control panel. It must lower these 3 bollards. If I only had the code, I could lower them and run over this prick. Time to ask around.
Yeah, I hope you do feel encouraged to check the game out. That would be ideal.
These guys will make your car float. That's random.
So written on this car door here, this didn't tells of the time I almost died on Pico Road. It was hit by a coked up to the eyeballs truck driver who, after pulling over to exchange details, told me his bumper bar cost him $10,000. Big whoop. He almost killed me and my ex-girlfriend. what's her name and I were rattled. Don't even know, but we were something alive. I don't know what that would be, but we were alive. Could have been a lot worse for sure. Well, thanks for reading the story of my dint. Keep smiling. Life's good. From Ray. XXX. It's a couple little hints to Ray in this game. Gotta keep an eye out for him.
Never good news, is it?
Ooh, I barely saw that little card there. I may have missed that any other time I've played through this. The Sapporo Morning Herald. So same thing. Now we're getting like these Japanese influences into the game. The borders of this world are totally shaken up and different and like all intermingled. So this is literally from today, I think, of the game's storyline. Burger wings. You look hungry. Dive into some wings today. In stores everywhere. Heading outside city limits? Better pack some reliability. It's against the law to travel out without a loaded firearm, and our firearms are second to none. Shop Bushmaster for safety and peace of mind. Martial law. The pits. Police officers and AFS personnel battle protesters in the pits. 63 people arrested, 5 dead in ongoing civil unrest. A crowd of more than 1,500 protesters gathered to mark a fourth night of violence as hundreds of police and AFS personnel struggled to restore order. The unrest started early last week after the sudden disappearance of dozens of U.S. residents in what some are calling unlawful abductions. How long are we going to pretend that we don't know what's happening? Said Thomas Williams, a protest organizer. The mistreatment will go on no longer. We have stood idly by as our liberties have been eroded away. With each day, we fall deeper into poverty and despair. No more. Mr. Williams urged every resident of the pits and Greater Sapporo to commit to violence until authorities recognize their right to exist. On Wednesday night, Queensland Premier Frank Brown denied Mr. Williams' claims and vowed to end blah blah blah. And the Ermagerd Logistics and Security. The Ermagerd. I love that. That's incredible. There's also the happy ads. If you want some advertisements inside your advertisement.
When I started at the Critter Research Network over 25 years ago, resources were spread thin. We didn't have as many specimens to work with as we do today, which made life harder on everyone. Fewer test subjects to study meant less medicine to heal the sick, less antidotes for the infected, and there was no clear way of dealing with the many critters
There's
that
those
now roam
Nimbin.
the lands, like this little guy. The good news is that things have changed dramatically over the years. Thanks to tireless work from freelancers and volunteers, we're now able to dedicate more time and resources to research. Not only to help eradicate these critters from our backyards, but to harness their strengths, making life easier for all of us. However, we cannot continue to do this without your support. Until December, the CRN is offering double the commission for all wanted specimens. For those that are able to deliver specimens alive and unharmed, this commission will be tripled. Remember, we are all responsible for ending the threat. Your help will make all the difference. We thank you for your continued support.
I love the idea of adding to the lore of the game through things like advertisements. I don't know if it'll be different. I'll skip over it if it's the same. Yeah, so we've seen that one. It's the same. There are different advertising sections of the game where it has different ads. The more you interact with it. I should finish that thought.
Oi, Ross Bucket.
Hello, miss. How can I be of service?
Just scan this.
Mr. Hughes. First name, Alan.
I always thought this voice actor sounds like a film cow. Jason Steele, is that his name?
-773. Approved for eradication by licensed agent. Whereabouts unknown. Associates unknown. Hair color black.
Yeah. Don't need his life story. I'm licensed. And that's the fella right over there. You fancy eradicating him for me?
Negative. Without presenting a serious danger, I am not permitted to use deadly force. However, I am permitted to detain wanted persons. Shall I detain Hughes? First name, Alan.
Forget it.
stay out of my way. The tin can's got my papers. No need to worry about it anymore.
I should double check my objectives to make sure I'm going through this safely. Sounds like the AI from The Incredibles. I would have to revisit that to remind myself. The target has been identified. Time to get rid of him. There are probably a few ways I could do this. The easiest way would be to find a weapon the agency left for me. Recover equipment. Left a weapon for me. The weapon was left for me. It is jammed for some fucking reason. I can't clear it with my hand. I have something in the boot of my car that might help. And find the code for the keypad. There's a keypad that will unlock the bollards. With these down, I could run into Alan with my car. I need to find the code to lower them. I should ask someone who lives around here. I don't really think I can talk to Kenji, seeing as that would require moving directly in the line of things here. Ah, a little crate.
I bet I can use this somehow.
Surely you can. Surely it wouldn't be available if you couldn't use it somehow. But one lone bolt, I'm quite uncertain.
Negative. Please do not linger, miss.
I did.
I don't need to pay for that.
I meant to click on that. I don't think this is a very large area. I don't think there's like other locations I can head to.
Can't reach. Don't need it.
There's someone up here though, actually. Which I don't think I've actually done this before ever.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Bit of a bogan, maybe.
Yeah, you need a code. What do you want to lower those for?
What's the code?
What, you expect me to just give you the code? What's in it for me?
What do you want?
Oh, I don't know. Show us your tits.
Well, I mean, there are two options here. I actually don't know if I can go the first route because I don't know if that will be censored properly or not. But we're gonna mess around with it, I guess. I meant to just send. We either will or we won't. We'll see how that plays out. I'm going to go ahead and assume that even if you do opt to show him, that she's like a hardened badass here who's very capable of solving these issues herself. And presumably if she agrees to this, she's not going to follow through. Probably just kill him. Everyone, not everyone, but the vote is leaning towards one by far enough that I will just run with that. I'm gonna guess. Oh no, she did just go for it. All right, there's that.
You'd do it. I was just joking, you know.
I didn't think she'd do it either.
Now give me the bloody thing.
Yeah, right. Okay, it's 8487.
I guess she did do it. Just yeah, he kind of owes us after that one. That was the agreement. What a shithead thing to say. 8487. So let's just give that a roll then.
Got it.
There are other options here, but we went through the steps needed for this one, so you know, let's just have at it. We did enter the code.
It's a garage.
So I thought that those bollards would lower immediately. There was there was the option to do with rooting around in the boot of the trunk.
It's not opening. Right. I can probably pick the lock. How did it go again? There's some sort of pattern I need to follow.
It's not just gonna be yeah, okay, it will be regular lock picking.
Fuck.
2 in place. Just a little bit of random guessing at the end there, and it worked out.
Easy. Got it. This'll work.
So, gun unjammed. That option is now available to us. So we're left with eliminate Alan. there should be the way to run him down. The bollards are unlocked. I can lower them and finish the job when I'm ready. And grab my weapon for some backup. I can't remember if I need to specifically lower them now some way. Basically, I have the options. I have the option now where I can shoot him or run him over with the car. So, that would be how you initiate the shooting. I just want to make sure that I have both. Okay. So, this time it's not just going to be a vote of 1 or 2. It'll be more specific. Are we going to kill him with the car or kill him with the gun? This time the vote is straight up just he is going to die. How do we feel like doing it? How long am I going to stream for? I'm going to have to tap out probably basically after we wrap up this mission. It has been a busy couple weeks and I'm so tired. And I have some other like publishing related things I should probably be like taking care of and working towards for the remainder of the day. So I wanted to put a stretch in here. I'm thinking maybe Wednesday I'll play another couple hours, and then if we're not finished the game by then, which probably won't be, Friday I'll do like a finishing stream on things. Break it up throughout the week. We'll kind of see. We'll see how things go. The vote is right on the line here. It's shifting back and forth, way in one way than the next. The game is $17.99 US dollars with a 15% discount, so it's about $15, a little less even. And there's a couple little, like, if you're Canadian or Australian, it's slightly cheaper than that, not by a lot, but like the US dollars is the reference point on Steam, and then we tweaked a few things there to have kind of like localized pricing and also to encourage specifically Australians to pick up the game. We got the car. The car was our end result on that vote, so we're going that direction. Lower the bollards and crush Alan. The game is like $18, but it's also free. We have a free version of it available for people who don't currently have the option to support us monetarily.
Another copy?
I better be off soon.
Jeez. Gonna back up into him?
You are presenting a danger to others. Deadly force.
Presenting a danger. It's not necessarily.
You still there? Hello?
The guy up the top there, like, what the fuck did you just do? Battle to the metal. So now we've been introduced to the 3 main storylines, which I think is kind of a useful thing for getting your bearings in this game. It mostly focuses on the fella, but there are the 3 characters to follow with.
Can you get off and walk at least?
I believe we only killed Alan Hughes in that scenario.
It's a day's walk back to the shack, and the roads aren't very safe. If we can make it to the town up the road, we can probably get some horses. Maybe some supplies too. But before that, we need to make sure we look the part.
Is that someone coming now?
Looks like it. I'll get the big bastard, you get the other one.
Keeping a lookout up here. These roads are dangerous, you know.
Yeah, I think we exclusively killed Alan with the car on that one. So, 3 options here. This is one of the ones where those 2 main options are both present, and it's just going to be whichever one you chose. And there's another one, but apparently it needed some string that I never actually found. So, normally this would get put to a vote. This is the only one we can do, so we're doing the internalizer solution. And there's never a scenario where you won't have one option, one singular option. Even if we had found the string, or chosen brick shithouse, or any combination, there's always going to be at least one thing. Here, we're just kind of limited, so it's worth exploring thoroughly.
We're about 3 Ks away. I'm not pulling your fat ass anymore. Get off.
Good morning. How's it going, mate? About time we got reacquainted. What seems to be giving you grief today? Well, it's these 2 guys down there. We really need the clothes they're wearing, but I doubt they'll just give them to us if we ask nicely. Bah, an easy one. Look, The trick to getting people to do what you want isn't how you ask, it's not to ask at all. I reckon you should just drop down there, right in his fucking head. Give his neck a good little snap and, really get in there and twist it. Yes, of course.
A little bit
you can solve
manic.
all of life's problems by snapping things. I offer an alternative. How would you like it if I simply put those two to sleep with a lovely song? It will be quick.
Don't be
clean,
naive,
you don't
Angel.
have to harm a single sleep. I'll put him to fucking sleep, all right? You can do that. Aren't you just a figment of my imagination? Can a figment of your imagination do this? Ah, fuck. Righto
It's a
then.
tiny little beer bottle.
How about you do one each? Better than nothing, I suppose. In any case, you won't regret letting me help. Hey, mate, how about using this? It's a wonderful little ditty I wrote that'll put anyone to sleep. Why, thank you. See, you
So
can be
helpful.
nice.
Working
Oh,
together.
This is gonna be sweet.
So fucked up. Just devil stuff.
Oh, fuck me. Look at his fucking head. Oh, how's it going there, big guy? Enjoying nap time? See you next time, buddy. Oh, that son of a biscuit. Please, accept my
Shouldn't
apology.
trust the devil there, Angel.
A little bit loose, but it'll do.
Oh, stinks a bit.
You should be
Before we
used
go,
to some funks
and
by
I know
now.
This'll probably be a stupid question, somehow. But what's with the wagon, the clothes, and the swords?
Supreme Lord had said that, I bet it's a song that'll just make your head explode.
It's
Yep.
questions like that that could get us killed. If you don't understand something, just try to go with it. Any questions about things that are obvious to everyone else is a good way to get noticed. And you don't want that. The most important thing to remember is that this is how most people live now. They don't know any different. Those guys back at the house, they're an exception. Sort of like us, but in a legal way. They obviously have an arrangement with the RAEF.
Right, well, I think I'll let you do all the talking when we get to... Where are we going?
It's a town called Shambles. I've only been there once. It's just to cross the bridge and up the hill. It's actually not a bad place.
Curious about what actually happened with the figments. Interesting theory you've proposed.
Hi.
Yeah, nah. Just kidding. This is Shambles. Unfortunately for you, though, we aren't letting any more merchants inside. We're full to the brim. Been turning away for weeks now. I assume you are merchants, aren't you?
We're... Exterminators.
What's that?
Exterminators. You know, like pest control.
Love
Rodents,
the idea of
bugs, feral
bringing
wildlife.
that back.
Exterminators, you say? Well, do I have some good news for you? You see, last month, on this very bridge, a koala started climbing the walls to harass visitors on their way to town. Since then, 2 townsmen have gone missing, as well as a guard, and I can't get anyone to go down there and get rid of that little bastard. You help me with this, and I'll let you inside. What do you reckon?
A koala? Yeah, I think we can handle it.
Confidence. I like it. I've been told to give this to anyone who decides to help. And as you're an exterminator, I doubt I need to tell you how it works. Off you go then, and bring me its head.
Bring me its head is very intense.
It didn't sound like your plan was going to get us inside. And it's just a koala. How hard can it be?
Better deal with the koala before we wrap up the stream.
I'm starting to think we have different definitions of the word koala.
What do you reckon the shit in the bag is?
You're asking me? You're the exterminator, remember?
Maybe I should throw it.
Spatula
at the
it.
Mate, I've got no bloody idea.
Maybe I need to eat it.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to just eat a random substance that someone you've never met handed to you that you were told could be used to kill something.
Right. Well, I'll go wait at the gate. Good luck with Tiny.
Famous last words indeed. How bad could it be? The lair. Vote coming up. So even though the first one is 50-50, I'm still going to just count that as 1. 1, 2, 3 for the vote on this one. I have a feeling it's going to be comically large. Pretty regular sized. Pretty regular sized. We could have a 50% chance trying to stab it, throw the bag we were given at it, or eat whatever is in the bag that we were handed. So yeah, it it is not the bag of gold. It's something specifically meant for our exterminating duties. I guess, however, the vote breaks down. If one option does not succeed, then I will just go to the next most popular option and we'll work through them that way. I'm going to give people another, like, couple seconds here to throw their votes into the poll in the chat. Right now, option 1 is winning out. Looks like that's going to be the number 1 option. So we're going with that. He's a little bit messed up.
I'm not gonna harm
not a regular koala.
All right.
Yeah, you are correct, Frozen Fire. That is a trailer moment. It's a little graphic, a little messed up.
What he really did.
Didn't go so hot. Achievement absent-minded. So, the next option, next most popular option was 3, which is to simply eat that. So when it replays a cutscene like that, you can skip it. I didn't, but you can. You don't have to watch that again every time. Option number 3. Chug it all down, whatever weird sand, who knows the hell that was.
Oh, it tastes like shit. Oh, my head.
Glad we ended up with this option. This is one where I actually do know where it goes.
Morning, old chap.
Return of our boar friend.
Have you?
Are you really talking to me?
Well, why wouldn't I? We're pals, aren't we? But where are my manners? You look famished. I have a bag of delicious crisps.
They look like the wings burger. Burger wings.
I'm pretty hungry, actually.
Here, take some. Oh, come on, don't be shy. Take them out of the bag. Take them all out. That's it. More. More. Put your bloody elbows into it. Yes.
Getting a little upset. Jesus. I don't even know how he got to that point, ripping it in half, but he kind of lost his shit there for a hot second.
You need to open the lens cap.
Sorry. This has to be it.
Are you sure?
I am almost positive.
We will see, Private.
Quality
Since you are under the
reactions to
full
that one in the
instruction,
chat.
We are going to handle this my way.
Убегайся, огонь по готовности.
Oh, come on. He had the best voice. Such a shame. Very dramatic with, like, the lightning and stuff. Come on, lookout guy.
You?
I can fight.
Just do it.
Not leave.
The battle's not, like, not a lot of people on either side here. It's not a humongous thing.
Get down.
Yeah, it's pretty rude of the game to make you spend a bit of time getting to know the characters before it wipes them out.
Go on then. Put a bullet in me and be done with it.
We are looking for a man. Somebody new to the area. We believe he is injured, and we know he came this way. Where is this man now?
Oh, need a man, do you, love?
He tried to use the seduce option. Throwing out a poll for this one. Use your words versus use a shotgun. Something was consumed to conceive of a scene that required consuming of drugs. Perhaps. I have no idea. Phil might just have a unique mind. Thinks of things that no one else would. Going on the charisma build. Bro used flirt was ineffective. Not very effective. Words is winning out. Shockingly, after all of the times in this playthrough that you guys have leaned heavily in favor of violence, we're running with words for a change.
You are a funny one. Tell me, funny man, have you heard of the maggot militia?
Can't say I have. Do they tie people up and ask stupid fucking questions all day?
The maggot militia. This is the name they give themselves. Can you think of why they might choose this name?
Oh, why don't you tell me?
Has the potential to be so gross.
This includes bush rangers. Not conscripted into any service. They are put into the maggot militia. Unarmed, they are forced beyond the borders of our state, where unimaginable horrors await them. If they live for more than a few days, they are considered very fortunate. Most are not very fortunate. Most are disfigured corpses, rotting in the hot sun before the week is through. Our soldiers use their maggot-filled bodies to lure out all manner of creatures. These creatures, they...
Yeah, alright. But I don't know who this guy is, or where he is now. He should have returned with a ranger yesterday. They were headed out to a place near Shambles. That's all I know. Now, either let me go, or put a bullet in me. I'm not gonna be a corpse in your fucking militia.
Thank you.
We have a location, Private. There's no time to waste.
Oh God.
It is time I explain the purpose of our mission. Move out.
I guess you would choose to give them up
You know,
in exchange for a
Alice
quick death
generated
like
things
that,
like
you
pretty
know?
well back there, which gives me an idea. First, we'll need a couple of things. You'll need to find yourself a horse and some travel papers. I'll do the same. Consider this your final test.
Okay, horse and papers. So, where do I...
That's for you to figure out. Let's meet back here in a few hours. And don't forget what I told you on the bridge.
Entering a new area here, being a part of the medieval village of Shambles. I think now would be a fantastic place to wrap up a stream. I'm indescribably tired. It's been a long few weeks. So, I'm going to wrap things up for there. Sometime in the next day or so, I will schedule the next stream. I'm planning Wednesday, so, you know, like, starting roughly 48 hours from when I started this stream is going to be my target time for that. In the meantime, I need to rest up, need to take a break. Busy. I hope people are excited about Repella Fella. There's a link at the top of the description. You can go wishlist it or buy it now if you so choose. It's available as of today. If you go to repellafella.com and check out the blog, there is a link to where you can download and play the game 100% for free. It is a safe, sanctioned, official, free, pirate-friendly version of the game. We just want people to play the game more than anything else. Making money is great because that will allow us to pursue a sequel, but right now the primary thing is we just want people to play it. Word of mouth, enjoy it, share it with your friends, get people talking about it. Maybe one of them buys a copy and recommends it to a friend, and one of them buys a copy. And so people are going to pirate it regardless. So we might as well just like lean into that, let people play the game for free if they wish. And if or when you feel compelled to support the game, it's available to purchase. I don't think there's much more to say. It seems like everyone else is just kind of like wrapping things up here. I'm excited to see people are looking forward to seeing what comes next. Maybe a few of you decide to try it out for yourselves and try some different options up until this point and see what the different alternatives could have been. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to check out that Steam page. Keep an eye out for that next stream. And I'll definitely make better use of the polls. I hope to see you all again soon.